Dad's got another tattoo!
On this week's episode, the Nandos debate rages on, we look at clarity of mind and also the Iron Maiden preview.
Hello and welcome to episode 16 of Mum. Will you stop fucking about when I'm doing the intro?
I'm getting the set list up, man. I'm being professional.
Professional. Getting ready when... right.
This is how I roll.
Welcome to episode 16 of Mum Dad's Got Another Tattoo, the Midlife Crisis podcast with me, Mark, and my co-host, noisy bollocks over here, Richard. Hello. And thanks for everyone for listening. Lots of support and nice comments. Brilliant. If you want to get in touch with us, we're at mumdadsgotanother tattoo@gmail.com. And we're also part of the Pedomedy. What were you laughing at there? Did I fuck something up?
One day you will get that right. One day.
What did I get wrong there?
Mum's got another tattoo. I don't know. You just can never get it right. I'll wait for it now.
Mum and Dad's got another tattoo at gmail.com. Parts, excitingly, of the Pedomedy Comedy Podcast Network. Yep. Lots of good stuff on there. My favourite so far being Austen After Dark, a podcast which speculates on the sex life of Jane Austen characters. I actually recommended this to my wife's English department friends who were positively frothing at the proposition. However, I did so before I realised that episode 1 contained the phrase dehydrated milky fish stick, which sounds pretty bad out of context. Don't sound great in context either. But if you want to know about contraception in in the early 19th century, there you girls.
It also sounds like a fantastic Seattle grunge band.
Yes, it does. So I'll Google that and see what pops up, see how my algorithm responds. But go and check them out, and go to pedomedy.com to see our podcast stablemates as well. We'll be giving you little previews and reviews of our brethren there as we go on. But now, on to correspondence. Now, the Nandos debate continues.
It's bringing the heat.
Yeah, bringing the heat. Now, George has got in contact with us.
Right, Georgie boy.
About Nandos, and you're going to have to confirm some of this because obviously I won't step foot in the fucking place. Dear Marc and Richard, long-time listener, first-time writer. Excellent form there. I think that's the approved way. I've been following the great Nandos debate closely in recent episodes. For me, there is another element that needs to be considered. I've always been struck by the strange ordering ritual that one experiences at Nandos. It seems the franchise has settled on a nearly unique way for a high street restaurant to require its consumers to order and purchase its products. I say nearly unique because there are similarities to another retailer. Nando's is the Argos of casual dining.
He's got a point. He does have a very good point. It does blow my mind, but continue with that.
Does it have little pencils?
No, it doesn't have. Like you're in a bookies.
Think about it. Both involve a strange queue and order at the counter situation. That true?
Absolutely.
There's a sense of structured chaos and an obligation to comply with the rules, which in the moment provide some sort of comfort, but immediately on reflection you realise it's just not normal.
No, it gets on my tits, right? That's the one thing. So they sit you at the table, as per.
Yeah.
Put a menu in front of you, and then fuck off.
Right.
Let's go. There's loads of people about. I mean, there's staff about cleaning tables, but then you have to.
In a minute, yeah.
You then have to go up to the counter with said menu and order what you want. And then, that's how most people do it. What I do is sit at my table, go up to the counter, wait in line, realise I've forgotten what table number I am, walk all the way back, and start the procedure again.
Well, George makes a very similar point. It's more perplexing when realising the waiting staff are employed in the way that they are. They're principally tasked to clear away plates and chicken carcasses, but not being trusted to take down an order.
But they are, because, say, for instance, I mean, sometimes I don't normally go for the bottomless fizzy drinks. I'm not really.
No one cares about your fucking order. Get on with the.
Right? No, this is not him. I don't really go for that. But so if you have, because then you go up and serve yourself. But if I want another drink, I can put my hand up like a good boy. Well, you know, wave them over, garçon, you know, whatever the Portuguese equivalent is. And then they'll bring me a drink. So you are allowed to bring your wares. Bring me the fucking rest of it.
All right. Well, I think this sort of reflects our dystopian AI-dominated future, where people are allowed to take away the shit and the leftovers, but all the creation and the fun part of it is left to the robots. There's that famous phrase about AI that, you know, I wanted it to do the dishes and hoover the floor so I can get on with creating the music and poetry, but instead AI is creating the music and the poetry and we're doing all the fucking washing up and all the hoovering.
That's right.
So there we go. Another little strand in my anti-Nandos view is that essentially it's the harbinger of our artificial intelligence overlords and a microcosm of that. And Jules says he felt compelled to raise this point because it may or may not have seismic ramifications for the future of human race and civilised society. I totally agree, Jules.
George, I appreciate the point of view. I agree with most of it, but you and Mark got too much fucking time on your hands, if that's you delve in that deep.
You're the one going to Nando's, you've got fuck all else to do.
But that's the reason I'm there.
Yeah, because you've got too much time on your hands. See, Nando's customers, hypocrites. He signs off in, love the pod, 5 stars. Thanks, George.
Thank you, George.
Think about introducing a new section, Rich, which...
Go on.
Totally self-serving, of course. It's going to be called "Why Was Mark Late This Week?" Now, you have mentioned time and time again that I'm really upset by this because it is. I admit that I am late for many things, but it's not because I think my time is more valuable than you. It is the world and universe conspiring against me in ways that I could not foresee.
But for instance, we all went out for dinner. What was it, New Year's Day? 45 minutes late, standard.
I wasn't 45 minutes late. I was a bit late.
Go on. So what happened?
And that was tractor injury. We were stuck behind the tractor on the way. So this time I was 14 minutes late picking up the.
That's pretty good for you.
From a school. Oh, was it? Let's see how good it turned out for me in the end. So it was a Friday afternoon. Got a WhatsApp message from my wife. Can you pick daughter up 6:30? Now Friday she gets picked up by her grandparents, and sometimes they drop her off, and sometimes I go round and pick her up. I mean, it's only like 30 seconds
up the road,
down the road, literally up the road. If you kicked a football hard enough, it might land in their garden. That's how close it is.
You're talking to? I get it. I'd drop it straight in their brown bin.
So I was mowing the lawn as well after I was finished work. Started mowing the lawn, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to time this absolutely fucking spot on. And I did. I was strolling up their drive. I looked at the clock, and it was 6:29. And as I knocked on the door, bop, 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 my watch went to 6:30. I went, there you go. I am cured. It took a little bit longer than usual opening the door, almost like he wasn't expecting me. So my father-in-law opens the door and he goes, what are you doing here?
At that moment,
I was like,
shit.
I thought, well, I've come to pick up your granddaughter.
Waiting to school, was she?
She's at school disco. I'm like, fuck.
And how long's the drive from, say, in-laws to the school?
It's about 16 minutes.
Right.
So all the way there, I'm bargaining with myself. Right, so 6:30 finish. There's no way they'll finish bang on at 6:30. It's the whole school thing as well. So there'll be loads of people there.
They've got to say goodbye to each other. Parents be chatting.
And I've picked her up from there before on time, and they're wild. They're absolutely
hopped
out
up
their face on Skittles and
Robinson's fruit shoots and all that. Yeah,
all that sort of stuff. So gambling and bargaining with myself. I think by the time I get there, maybe it won't even be noticed that I'm late. Pull up to the playground, car park, like fucking desert.
You were hoping 6:30 was last orders.
No, absolutely not. All that was left was the head and the head of the parent governors, whose own child had been picked up and collected. And ours was sitting there like little orphan Annie, all alone. But it gets worse than that. They went, "Oh, we didn't know whether you were coming or not, so we phoned your wife."
Oh, no. There's no escape then? There's no escape.
I did actually say, what'd you do that for? She said, "Would you prefer it that your child was waiting here all alone?" I said, "Yes, I would have preferred that.
Yeah, I'd have got her some sweets on the way home. It'd have never been spoken about again, and you fucked it.
Yeah. And as she drove by, I went, "Grass!" So we had a bit of a discussion about Crocs. I am anti-Crocs in the same way that I'm anti-Nandos. Well, not in the same way. I don't think Crocs represent the immediate and present danger to civilized
dystopian life.
No, it's slightly less important than that.
Now, I was in that camp until marketing did it. I was looking for something to wear around the house that wasn't a slipper. And then I saw a certain footballer, Mr. William Saliba, wearing an absolutely rascal pair of, not traditional, the red pair.
Right. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. So I bought those in white and black.
But not red.
No, that's a bit too.
The thing about that William Saliba is that William Saliba photo is that I think it brings in sharp relief why I don't wear them. Because in context, if you are a young, early 20s, supreme athlete, I think they'll look pretty good. When you're taking the rubbish out, mate, you look like you're giving up.
Mate, in my head, I am a 20-year-old young international athlete. Yeah, but let me live in my world.
No, you can live it. Look, wear whatever you fucking like. I don't care. But to me, they are like you. For example, my dad has recently also fallen to footwear marketing.
But has he gone for the Echoes or has he gone for the classic line clogs?
Oh, he hasn't gone Crocs, mate. He's gone the do not touch, put the Skechers on. Jamie read that once.
Oh, don't even touch the back of them. Just put your feet straight in.
Yeah. Now, would you buy those?
No.
Why not? Because
they're for old people.
They're not for you. Just like Crocs are not for you.
Yes, they are.
Unless you want to signal to the world that you've just given up.
I wear them in my garden. Who am I bothering?
It's just a vibe. I just think, like, you know, when I get my hair cut, the very few people actually look at me, but it's for me. That's why. And I think that Crocs, they're a little bit like the Skoda, where, I know people say, it's just this.
Very reliable car, Mark. Very reliable car.
Yeah. And that very phrase is why I will never own one. Well, one of two reasons why I won't own one. Because I was part of the generation that did all the Skoda jokes, you know, why has it got a heated rear window and all that sort of stuff.
What do you call convertible Skoda? Skip.
Yeah, exactly. I grew up on those jokes, and the explanation of why it's not like that is enough to put me off. Function over form over all else.
They are so comfortable. Stand by it.
No. I've got another complaint.
Oh, go on. That make a fucking change.
Flat pack bullshit is what I'm calling this.
Now, you sent me an extremely irate WhatsApp message at the weekend. It was really hot as well. I was on the beach and I got a really irate message, and I was giggling to myself for a good 10 minutes thinking about you putting flat pack up in about 34 degrees.
Yeah, it's fine because, I say it's fine. It's not fine. I accept that part of our consumerist life is dictated by making stuff as cheap as possible, and part of that is making it as easy to transport all across the world as possible, which means you have to put stuff together. And IKEA, of course, made absolute fortunes out of it. I'm sure all of us at one stage or another have had some sort of bully bookcase or equivalent in there, and I get that. But there are some things I think you should expect just to buy and not have to fucking put together.
What was it?
A hose.
Oh, yeah, I did one a few weeks back. You have
A hose. I mean, how difficult can it be to And when I had finished putting it together, it was exactly the same size and dimensions because I had one of those wrappy roundy like house things, right? And it was this. You had to do that, put it through here with following the fucking incomprehensible instructions that, in the end, of course, they might as well just send you to YouTube. What is the point of these stupid fucking instructions that have got to make sense to 500 million people because of the 27 different languages that come that come with it? So for once, can someone send me something I don't have to put that through there and put A joint into B fucking rivet or whatever? I think we might actually be discovering why I'm so shit at all this. But
see, I bought one about 3 weeks ago, and it hasn't been mentioned, but I know I fucked up. Because, you know me, why do I need that one? Why can't I have the biggest one? Now you see the size of my garden. I have enough hose to do 4 doors down.
Impeccable dog etiquette.
Oh, yes. This was yesterday. Magnificent. Now, as I mentioned a couple of episodes ago, I think, about when your dog walk syncs up with someone else. It can be a difficult time. So people I walk with, or people I see, their routes. I've got my route. But and it just happened. I turned a corner, lovely lady, see her every morning, play with the dog. But we synced up, didn't we? We synced up. And I was just getting to the last 1 or 2 in my little checkbox. She knew the assignment and she went right.
Do you think she wanted to go right?
No, that's not the way she normally goes. And I looked, and if she'd have looked back, she'd have seen me give her a little nod of appreciation. I was like, you understood the assignment. Well played.
Yeah,
well
there should
played.
be more people like that. I bet she doesn't go to Nandos. That is nailed on. She is one of the great civilising forces of our world and should be recognised as such. So I'm glad you brought it to our attention.
It just reaffirmed my belief in people,
Right, that's the end of part 1 of our trials and tribulations so far. More to come. We're going to have a sports section next, I think.
Oh, get it.
Welcome back to part 2 of Mum, Dad's Got Another Tattoo, the Midlife Crisis podcast. So I'm going to have a little mini sports section here, which... so this... I sent the title to you, Richard. Cricket Humiliation at the Hands of 9-year-old Girls. Now, you also have a 9-year-old girl.
I don't.
And but also a boy in his mid-20s, so you've probably been through this already. Where I am in sort of parenting is that playing sport or like tennis or catch or whatever it is has gone from cutesy but frustrating to actually quite a lot of fun because the hand-eye coordination are there and they can actually get involved rather than it being a bit of a drag. So we had a barbecue over the weekend, enjoying the hot weather, and there was my daughter and 2 of her friends, 9, 10 years old. They are also amazingly competitive, B, getting quite good at sport.
Girls have that at that age. Yeah. I've noticed with my daughter and her friends, they're really competitive with each other.
Yeah. So we had like this little 3-a-side cricket match, 3 dads. 3 9-year-old girls.
Was it dads versus kids?
It was dads versus kids.
Love
and we sort of obviously have to adapt the rules a little bit. And so the dads batted first. I was first up, opening batsman.
Now, I can see you like that dad in the Fast Show, the Harry Enfield series, the competitive dad. I could see you trying to smash 6s all over the place.
Well, my plan was to do exactly that after I'd given them a little chance to catch something, just lob it up a little bit, let them run after it.
Bit close.
Nearly. So I did that, executed it almost perfectly. The only flaw in my plan was my daughter's friend who just took a couple of steps to her left and caught it one-handed.
Golden duck. Please tell me it was a golden duck.
So I was back under the arm, back in the pavilion straight away for none.
Like a true Brit from the 90s.
Yeah, and I wasn't the only one either.
You're joking.
Well, so I think the other, my fellow batsman thought, oh, hold on, we're up against a better opponent than we'd realised. All out for 14.
Jesus Christ.
Now the girls got in. They're starting picking holes in her field coverage and everything, like
Looking for weaknesses.
Well, they found them, I can tell you. It was so after the first innings, we'd scored 14. They had scored 32. Right, and we had to start trying just to stem the bleeding.
And barking orders at each other.
Yeah, it got a little bit like, you get round 2 yards that way. having little conflabs before we were bowling about our plan for this tricky batsman that had obviously got her eye in. But they enjoyed the batting so much they wanted to bat again. So their second innings followed. So we were on 14. We will set a target of 60.
Right.
Quite, and it was like an over each. So 60 and 18 balls. You know, that's a chunky run.
You've got some work to do.
We have got some work to do. And of course, I remembered my little dolly that had cost me so dearly in the...
Oh, you're going to give this one the business next?
Yeah, I thought, right, enough of this. Enough of this. And they were taunting. We were being sledged.
Please, someone, if I bowled you a piano, would you play that? Whee, the old classic.
Yeah, it wasn't quite the Merv Hughes in Botham exchanges of the 80s, but you know, definitely hurt my feelings a bit. You know how savage 9-year-old girls can be.
Yeah,
they were on form. So
your daughter legally could have legitimately hit you with the classic. You're not even the best batsman in your family.
Yeah, absolutely right. There was one moment where I went steaming off after the ball because we were playing in the field, like not a garden, so there's a bit of space. And I thought, she's gone for a cheeky double there. I'll be able to run her out. So in my mind, of course, it's 1992. I went for the one-handed
ground ball
pick up, and then like sort of spin on a sixpence.
Yeah.
And chuck it into the bower. Honestly, my knee nearly buckled in half.
Yeah, but you do have knees made of wafers.
I tell you, I mean, that was probably the strongest test it has had for some time. That only just about got through it, and of course, I didn't get her out either. My opening ball of my second innings, you know, I owed my teammate a few runs here, and so it was the daughter would bowl to the dad.
Right.
In she runs with a medium pace, right hand over the wicket. And to be honest, it was too slow and it was too short. And my eyes lit up. And I stepped back and I think I executed what might have been the perfect pull shot with one small caveat to that,
which is
one small error where I had stepped back a little bit too much, I made great contact, not only with the ball but also my own wicket.
Not a lot down.
Absolutely, I think the off stump went for 4.
And how was that greeted? By your team and the opposition?
Well, at this point, we were in such a hole that everyone was, you know, a bit of soul searching was going on in our team, looking at ourselves in the mirror, and so it left us with just too much to do, and we lost by 6 runs.
So a lovely game of dad and daughter bonding turned into an existential crisis for the adults.
So on Friday, more sort of daddy-daughter sports action. Is that she's a very keen netballer and also plays for and is a supporter of London Pulse, something that Paul Scholes, former Manchester United player, has in common because his daughter plays for the first team, Alicia Scholes.
And toenail aficionado.
Who the fuck's that?
Scholes chose his daughter's toenails. Have you not seen the video?
I have. It's disgusting. Anyway, she has her toes on during...
That's good to know.
So I went to the London Copper Box to watch London Pulse versus Loughborough Lightning in the major semi-final of the Netball Super League.
Great names.
Yeah, they're all. So there's Loughborough Lightning, the Manchester Thunder. There's another London team called London Mavericks, and
Great name.
interestingly, Nottingham Forest.
Okay. Traditional.
Well, they are the netball team of Nottingham Forest. They've got a badge and everything.
That's brilliant.
So it's like a sort of playoff. So the top four now playing off to see who wins the overall thing, and the semi-final, if you like, was on last Friday at the Copper Box. Great atmosphere, a little bit England schoolboy friendly. But I'll tell you what. You know when you go to a football match and the referee makes a decision against the team, even if it's probably the right decision, people go absolutely mental and really loses all credibility because you just complain about everything. In the more female-dominated netball crowd, the sense of injustice is justified and real and expressed. But only when it's like the whole place can see it's wrong. Like most of the time, the umpire's decision is accepted without question. But when they've made a clear and obvious error, in the absence of VAR, what you get is 4,000 women booing.
Booing.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, it was very good. But I got really invested in it. I was like, because London Pulse went miles behind and then had a glorious comeback. So it was really quite an exciting game. I really cared about it. I really got invested in it. Why?
Mark, we're men. This is what we do. We can walk past 11 kids with the old jumpers for goalposts. I'll pick a team. I'll start rooting for them.
I do like it when you turn up to, or you drive past and you get caught at the lights next to like a Sunday League going on and there's a corner.
Yeah. Fuck the lights.
Yeah. But yeah, I follow a particular football team. I fully accept that my relationship with them is highly dysfunctional and takes up too much of my identity, weekend and cognitive bandwidth. I haven't got room for it, and yet here we are, yet again, another one where I'm like real nerves in the pit of my stomach over fucking netball.
It's the competitive nature. You won't. It's inbuilt into us. I think it's genetically inbuilt into us in regards to competition.
Yeah, I think you're right. Something I've been doing, and it's been mentioned once or twice on here already, is my inability to use my mobile phone correctly. And this week it has got worse. So you may have heard, Rich, why don't you tell people how often, for all my do not phone people, how often did you get a phone call off me?
Probably once or twice a fortnight, but they're normally in quick succession. So you'll get one, and either later on that day or the next day you'll get another, and you get pocket dial obvs, because like as if I was going to phone.
I was going to say, how many of those calls that I give to you do you think I was aware of when they were happening?
None. Zero.
None. I am getting worse. So this week, I reckon I've group called 3 WhatsApp chats. I have harassed the secretary at work through Teams calls. Called her 4 times on the spin.
Does your phone lock?
Well, obviously not, right? So that was it. Then, worryingly, I sent a picture of what I assume is it was like a close-up picture.
Oh.
I'm going to say my finger.
Right. My lord.
Yeah, right. I've got no evidence one way or the other what it was.
It looks like it's about the width of a finger.
Well, it was about the width of a finger. And I sent it. So I am the trustee of a local charity. I sent it to the trustee group. I went on there.
What's the matter with you?
To update them on some work that I'd done. I said, "Who sent this picture?" Oh, it's me.
I mean, how do you not?
I don't know.
How can you not control your phone?
Do you know what I've done today? I was updating. Go to Instagram. You will find Dad's Got Another Tattoo, our Instagram. And I was updating my latest tattoo adventure on there. And in the stories at the top, I saw that my own personal account was there. I thought, that's strange. And I had posted a screenshot of an announcement of Leyton Orient's new signing.
I mean, was that a screenshot you had on your phone, or don't tell me you? Right, okay.
I did have it because I was discussing it with somebody else. That was the first I saw of it. I forgot.
Any likes?
There?
It's all about the likes.
If I don't sort this out, I'm going to get into fucking real trouble.
My phone locks after about 15 seconds. Put it down. Or if I put it in my pocket, press the button, it locks.
Yeah.
Some prints will open it. Bob's your uncle.
Don't know what's going on. Don't know, but it is a real fucking problem. Oh yeah, I've left one out. I changed the title of a WhatsApp group as well.
Oh, was that the random letters that look like an Eastern European football team?
Yeah, crack outfit from Bulgaria. That's now the new title.
They must have been going, is Mark on? Has he got a meth addiction?
Well, if I have got an addiction, it is unsurprisingly tattoos.
Yeah. It's got another one, ladies and gents.
I have got another one. And this one is on the left bicep. Now, last week I recounted how a tattoo on my right bicep, which I was a little bit worried about for the pain because, it seemed like a bit of a sensitive place. In the event, was totally fine. So I went into this appointment with supreme confidence, which, as always, was completely misplaced because it absolutely fucking wrecked from start to finish, and I hated every second of it.
And how long was it?
About 4 hours in the end.
Oof.
I thought it was going to be a short one, but it turned into much longer.
Now, was this, have you updated the listeners? I mean, and let's go back to it, Nandos, where you get your loyalty card, and after so many visits, you get a free half a chicken. Mark, would you like to enlighten the listeners about your loyalty? Potential loyalty.
There was a loyalty. I entered a prize draw, and I've won a free tattoo. And so that will be the. But here's a question: a little quiz. Will that be the next tattoo that I get?
I am going to walk into this and say no.
Well, you're wrong because I'm getting another one tomorrow.
Fucking hell! I mean. We'll let. I mean, how long did they take? I mean, I got my tattoo years ago, so I can't remember. How long have you got to keep them covered up again? How long have you got to keep them clean?
Yeah, so my healing process is as follows. So you leave with some protection around it, sometimes it's just
cling film.
Yeah, cling film still the way they do these it's called tattoo armor, but if you've got a dog and remember the puppy pads that you used to buy, they're basically the same as them. So you wrap tattoo armor, puppy pad around the work, and because in the first sort of 24 hours afterwards it's still quite gunky and weedy, and like the sort of ink is and the plasma is coming out, and can make a bit of mess of either clothes or bedsheets. So it's decent to put that on there. Then the next morning, take that off and then wipe away all the gunk and everything. And then I put this thing on. It's called Second Skin. It's basically like a
I've heard of that.
cellophane, like a clear sticky protection. Now, many different artists have got different ways, but this is the way that started to work for me. Leave that on for basically as long as possible, up to a week. And so for as long as possible, I mean, if it starts leaking, it means stuff's coming out. Also mean bacteria and stuff can get in, can cause infection. So take it off and you can just start cleaning it and moisturising it from there. But if you can leave it on for like 5 to 7 days, when you take it off, it'll more or less be settled in. There's still a bit of healing to be done. The skin's still got to grow over it, but all the sort of really sore scab, and it sort of stops the scabbing so much, and it makes it heal really nicely. So after a week, you're 90% of the way there, and probably about another 3 weeks later, it's probably about as good as it's going to get.
Because we have a little podcast jolly up on Saturday, and quite frankly, I don't want you a weeping mess and covering me in your gunk. Could have worded that better, I suppose, but you know what I mean.
Well, I'll get very excited when but more of that coming up.
Welcome back to part 3 of Mum, Dad's Got Another Tattoo with myself and Mark.
Hello.
Coming out of a slump. Now, I remember when you were talking about your previous work situation where it was taking up so much of your bandwidth and your time and your mental capacity, you didn't actually realise how you felt while you were in that situation. And I realised last week that I realised I was out of a funk. I realised that I was in a funk when I got out of the funk. And it wasn't nothing major, but, you know, just with work going well. But things just weren't happening as quick as I want them to. And I felt like I was doing the same thing over and over again. And I was like, am I doing this right? Is there anything I can change? And then then the overthinking starts at 4 o'clock in the morning. Love that. And then I had a meeting with a representative from a local authority and parents of a new pupil. And parent was just not understanding, you know, a bit nervous because it's the first time. It's your child. You want to make sure the right thing's happening. And the guy from the local authority said, I've worked with Richard and his company for many years and they offer an absolutely fantastic service. And that was just like, oh, just to hear that, because most of the time I've got my team, they're here, there and everywhere. We have Zoom calls or phone calls most of the time. Most of the time I'm on my own. And it's, you know, it's that isolation. And sometimes listen, everyone likes praise. I don't want people to be going, oh, you're wonderful all the time, but just to validate what you're doing. And
well, it's interesting you say that. Well, first of all, how did that praise land with you? Like in that moment, totally genuine.
Yeah.
Like pumped you up. See,
I felt really good about it.
Well, I'm very pleased about it. I do not receive praise like that.
Why not?
I doubt it's sincerity. I doubt it's purity. Is there anything else coming under that? I find it very difficult to hear words like that and not try and immediately undermine that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what the reason.
See, this is someone I've worked with for years. And we've built a good working relationship, and it's even at a point with as a family, blah blah blah. But most of it is over email. You know, it's email, and to have that on-screen validation and say you're doing the right thing, it's going well done. It was just, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. So all those thoughts, put them to one side and just focus. The people that are overseeing everything like what you're doing.
That's brilliant to hear. I'm suspicious when people say things like that. I don't know why. I mean, I'm you know, we're exploring, you know, these things as well. Is that, and maybe it was the experience that I recounted of like burnout and being in a super high pressure environment where I guess the work results anyway, and the career results spoke for themselves. Nobody at any point said, you're doing really well. There
was no pat on the back from anyone. It was expected.
No. And maybe because I was doing shit. But
no. In that sort of environment, they tell you when you're shit, they let you know.
That is true. And on occasion, that did happen. So I think maybe that was because that was my sort of professional formative experience. I mean, I'd had other jobs before then, but it was the first time I'd been in the place where I wanted to be, doing the thing that I wanted to do. And the lack of that. I mean, we're going to talk about, you know, this sort of mental health stuff a little bit more frequently going forwards, and the environment. So, I mean, I wish that we had some sort of current tool, but we can develop this, and we're asking our audience to help with this as well. Is that you said you didn't realise that you were in a funk until you were out of it. Now, I thought what was interesting as well is how you felt the need to qualify that before you went in. Oh, it wasn't much. It wasn't anything. And yet you're laying awake at 4 o'clock in the morning worrying about it. So it obviously was something. And yet we have the sort of societal pressure to downplay that.
We minimise.
It wasn't much. I was just sitting on the edge of a railway bridge at 3 o'clock in the morning, looking into the middle distance.
I bought in that bottle of bleach in the bathroom. You look tasty.
Yeah, nothing much. No, it was fine. It was fine.
Nah.
No, it wasn't fine. And, you know, I still feel this, reluctance to share this sort of stuff with anyone that knows me. I find it hard to disconnect what I want to say from the many aspects of the relationship that you have with somebody, which I totally accept is a failing of me. So I've got a question then. Do you think that external validation is what brought you out of that? And
I think it was a large part of, and just things that I was trying to get in place, then it all started to fall in place. More stuff, good stuff started happening off the back of that. And it just went, right, where that little rut where it almost felt like I was on pause.
Yeah.
All snowball.
Yeah, I'm in a similar spot at the moment in my current place where you have phase one where you sort of make the market aware of your existence and, something great is coming. And then you have phase two where you want all those people who took attention to actually start paying for what you've got, right?
Yeah.
But then there's this little interregnum between that where that initial rush of attention gives way to the reality of, commercial reality. And there's a bit of a dead spot, the doldrums in between it. And if you're in that, it can feel very difficult to know when it's going to end.
Like you're in a holding pattern. And
I wonder as well whether that is like part of, how mental health issues start to spiral out of control, where you're in something that may only be a couple of hours in, but when you're in the middle of it, you can't see the end of it, and that is. I've got a black belt in catastrophizing. I will do that in every scenario. So you mentioned as well in the, believe it or not, people, there is some preparation that goes into this mess. But positive thinking, is that something that comes to you very naturally?
No, not at all. But I'm trying.
What does trying mean, though? Like, are you...
So when, say, a scenario comes up, it may not be a problem. It just may, my mind has always been programmed to go, look at the, this could go like this. And I go, no, right, this is how we're going to deal with it. Put the plan in place. You've got good people around you. It's going to work. It's been working. It's going to work. Early on, I don't always think like that, but yeah, it's been working.
And is that just something you've decided to try?
Yeah.
And would you think about some sort of training to be able to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I would really recommend something. I think it's important just to, ironically, not overthink this, because I had some training recently about this. It was clarity of mind. Now, I've done lots of these kind of things, and this is why I say don't overthink it, because sometimes you can be taught a particular way of thinking and a way of operating and trying to control your thoughts and your mind, and there's more than one way to do that. And if you come across another one, they might actually be contradictory and unhelpful. And it's kind of how I approach clarity of mind training. I mean, you can look it up, because it didn't because I've always been a sort of, I need to take action for it to be able to help. So there are other things where you can I've had other training where you can almost con your body into being happy and confident, which is you do it physically. So if you,
but is that just masking the issues? I mean, if you're
well, I think it's about managing what is essentially your lizard brain. So your lizard brain, the caveman in you, has all these reactions that kept your ancestors alive, which is why you're here. So, for example, public speaking often fills people with dread. And that is because when you stand up in front of an audience and you have all these eyes on you, your prehistoric brain thinks, I might be lunch here. And there is a amygdala reaction to that, which stresses you out, makes you nervous, fight or flight, and impacts your performance and your credibility in front of that. And when you become aware of that, there are things that you can do sometimes to master that and override that particular unhelpful system. And one of the ones that I found very useful is, like, if you sort of smile for long enough, your mind will go, hold on, the body's smiling here. What's going on? And you can actually make yourself a bit happier. Like, I'm not saying it's a way to solve deep-seated problems, but I'm talking about these local, topical, nerve-wracking moments. You can sort of shortcut that physically by maybe if you cheer with your arms up in the air. They were recommending go to the gents, go in the cubicle and sort of start going and pumping your arms up and you'll come out feeling pumped. And
That's interesting.
Don't believe me? Go and try it. Right, and like a lot of these things you actually have to do. Clarity of mind is slightly different in that you sort of slowly come to a realization about how your mind works. And I think the most resonant part of this was something called a thought ladder, which is, let's say on a Friday afternoon, you get an email from a local authority say, Rich, I really need to speak to you Monday.
Hate that. Hate it.
I mean, personally, that is very poor etiquette. But why do you hate it?
Because you start thinking about the negative.
Start thinking about the negative. And this was in the training called a thought ladder. You get like one side of it. Oh my God, what's this about? I bet it's something bad. And then you got two little parallel bits of wood on your thought ladder. And then you think, oh, maybe they're going to take some work away from me. There's a rung. You got another rung there. Maybe they're going to take all my work away from me. You're on rung number 2. And then by the time Sunday evening comes along, you are right at the top of your thought ladder thinking, oh my God, they're going to ruin my reputation across the entire industry and my business is ruined.
And more important than that, they've fucked up Hale and Pace, London's burning, fucked, Golden Girls, everything. It's all done.
Yeah. So you've had an absolutely awful weekend. And so you speak to John on the Monday morning and he goes, oh, just wanted to say, I saw what you wrote on LinkedIn the other day. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, even though that email sent you off, everything between then and the Monday morning is entirely in your head, your upper thought ladder. Now, the great thing about this training was that it teaches you to recognise that and helps you come down it again and start to rationalise.
I'm going to look into this. That's interesting. Yeah, it's something I'd definitely be interested to look into. Just how to, getting better at it. But it's just those coping mechanisms. And if we can all feel happier and not stress about the minor things, because things will happen in life that you will need to stress over. Let's not stress over what we don't have to.
Yeah, no, totally agree. So do you believe in any sort of woo spiritual sort of stuff? Asking the universe for things and
no, I've never done. I'm not saying I don't. I've never done it.
I have, and I do believe in it, but with a very strong caveat.
There's always a catch for you. Do you know, saying that, when you ask the universe, as I say, I'm not a religious person, and we've discussed this before, but I believe there's universal power, although I've never done anything about it.
Well, I don't believe that. I think I've got a very nihilistic sort of biological view of humans. Like we're just organisms on a rock flying through space. When I die, don't worry about my funeral. Just chuck me in a skip. Yeah. Well, I think the people in 22 Acacia Avenue will probably.
I'll get my own one. I want my own one. Not that cheap.
I know what I'm saying. That you've got to walk past you. Decomposing.
Not fly tipping my own body.
Yeah. I think you should. Even though I am just as agnostic about my final resting place for the same reasons, I would like there to be a bit of hygiene for the people that I leave behind.
Mate, if I'm going to go out, I want a Viking. Put me on a boat, fire arrows at me and set me alight. That's the way. Rock and roll to the end. Well,
I do believe in manifestations in that, and I think people do ask the universe for stuff or believe things will happen. Now, I don't actually believe that the universal power is listening or anything like that happens. What I think it does is help your mind to accept and be alive to opportunities that are going to come along that you can take advantage of when they come. And you may not be totally aware of it, or you might be scared of going for it. Fear of success can sometimes be just as potent as fear of fear of success can be just as potent as fear of failure. Fucking shut these fucking dogs up. All right, manifesting shutting his dog up.
Shut up!
Okay, worked.
See, whereas on the other end of the spectrum, Mr. Noel Edmonds.
I know he's a very much a manifester, and of course he's success in his life, and say what you will about him, he currently owns like a 500-acre estate in New Zealand. He's done very well for himself, so you can see that he thinks it works. I think it does work, but it works not because as I say, not because the universe is listening, is because you become alive and prepare your mind to receive success. And, you know, you get an opportunity, you can make hay while the sun shines in a way that you may not be. Now, because your mind is open to the possibility of receiving that.
Yeah. But on the flip side of that, Mark, you say there's no mystical powers out there. I've seen David Copperfield make the Statue of Liberty disappear. So what are you going to say about that?
I think him marrying Claudia Schiffer was the better trick. Just as mysterious. Welcome back to part 4 of Mum, Dad's Got Another Tattoo. You know the song Teenage Dirtbag?
I do. Great tune.
Last week, 25 years old.
Because, I mean, that was when American Pie came out, wasn't it?
Yeah, around that time. I think it was a different movie with...
Yeah.
I say different movie. It was basically the same film, but...
They all were. And they were great.
Yeah, I don't
in their time. They're a bit problematic now.
Yeah. The opening scene of American Pie is someone secretly filming a girl in his room with in a state of undress without consent. I mean, it's not a great look these days, is it?
Not really.
But Teenage Dirtbag, and you know the
25.
I got 2 tickets to Iron Maiden.
Yes, indeed.
Come with me Saturday. Don't say maybe. Brownie, we're going to see up the irons. We're going to see Iron Maiden.
At the Irons. At West Ham.
Yeah, as well. Steve Harris, the bassist and songwriter of Iron Maiden, is a massive West Ham fan. He's got a big West Ham badge on his bass. And whenever they do their London gigs, I think he tries to make it happen at West Ham's home ground, wherever that may be at the time. And we're off to the London Stadium this weekend to indulge in a bit of middle-aged dad band Iron Maiden. And I've been listening and watching, and I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
I even considered buying myself a sleeveless t-shirt.
He did. He put this on a group, and I was fucking horrified.
Well, I'm sad to report that I don't think I can get one before the gig, so I'm going to have to just go with a normal Iron Maiden t-shirt as well. But I mean, there is a high potential here for another segment of why Mark was late.
there is an extremely... I've already put this at 99% that I will be standing at Stratford Westfield fuming.
Yeah, I might send you the ticket, actually, so you can just go in. Without waiting for me. But again, I'm going to say, should I be late? This will not be... It's not because I'm dicking about valuing my time more than you. It is, again, because all that little... I was really looking forward to a lovely day, sauntering over there, soaking in the atmosphere, not boozing, obviously, because I'm a boring non-boozer, and getting in there, seeing all the support acts, and having a lovely time, getting away and coming home. Can that happen? Can it fuck? I've got to go to a netball tournament that finishes at 5:30, so they say, and then hot-foot it from there straight to there. Probably miss the first act and try and get there. That's if everything goes well.
I've already got mentally in my head a 7:30 is when you will arrive.
Well, that's what I'm aiming for. That's what I told you I'm going to get there. So I'm also going to try and interview some middle-aged blokes. The more sort of bald and ponytail they are, the more likely they are to be able to get on it. But we'll see how that works. But I am super looking forward to that.
Yeah, really looking forward to it.
And we will report back, maybe live. Maybe we'll do a little post gig interview as well. And,
that sounds good.
And slip that one in. But that's what I'm looking forward to. It's Glastonbury this week as well. Maybe we should have a little review of Glastonbury as well.
I've told you. I want to do Glastonbury again.
Yeah, I know, but that's what everyone says in the run up to Glastonbury. They think in the week before, the week after, it's like Wimbledon and the tennis courts being free. Yeah, let's go to Glastonbury. When it comes to fucking November and you've got to buy the tickets, no one's interested. So if you are going to Glastonbury and reliving some of your youth and having your own midlife crisis, we'd love to hear from you. Any other points that we've raised today about clarity of mind, positive thinking, manifestations, how shit Nando's is, we'd love to hear from you. Get in touch on Dad's Got Another Tattoo on all the socials and Dad's Got Another Tattoo at gmail.com. But until then, we will see you next time. Goodbye.
See you later.